Okay, I think we'll get started. So again, this is Dina Sandos from Council of Senior Centers and Services, and welcome to Get Right to It, Writing Good Case Notes. This webinar is brought to you in partnership by the Association on Aging in New York State Coalition on Aging, Council of Senior Centers and Services of New York City, and the New York State Office for the Aging. So just a few logistical things before we get started. Everyone is muted on the webinar, so if there are any questions or concerns, you can write in on the question pane, which is on your webinar panel. And you can enter questions throughout the webinar, and the presenter here will do their best to answer them. At the end of the webinar, there'll be a short survey that'll pop up on your screen automatically. It should just take a few minutes, so if you can just fill that out, that would be great because your feedback is very important to us. And the webinar will be recorded. So the session, along with the PowerPoint that will be presented, will be uploaded, and that information, it will be on the website, which is www.agingny.org, and that's under the Education and Events section under the webinars. So now we are pleased to have Roberta Hershey here, who is an adjunct professor at the Fordham University Graduate School of Social Service and Wurzweiler School of Social Work at Yeshiva University. And I will turn it over to have her begin.
Thank you, Dina. So hello, everyone. And we're going to talk today about case notes, a little about myself. I have been in the field for a good 25, 30 years and started as a caseworker and then was an administrator for many years, besides now teaching social work. So case notes and documentation in general have been a major part of my life. So both learning how to write them myself and also helping as a supervisor, helping my staff to write better case notes, and as an administrator, making sure our case notes met regulations and requirements. And now I talk about documentation, of course, to my students in graduate school. So I also was an English major, so I have to tell you I like to write. And so my students worry about that because I know where all the punctuation is supposed to go. But we're going to talk about that today too, so everyone can face what their particular challenges are in writing and how to improve your skills in a variety of ways. I hope you will take away some insights from today's presentation. And without further ado, let's launch right in. So here I am, by the way. So you have a face for a voice. So this is our agenda today. We're going to talk about, first of all, why do we even need to do this, write case notes? We're going to talk about how we do it, which is a focus, getting focused. We're going to talk about case note content, keeping it relevant and concise. Really important, all important parts. We're also going to do the third point there is what you bring to the process. We're going to talk about your observational skills and your writing skills, and those are both areas where you can also address professional development and learn to improve both your observational skills and your writing skills. And then after that, we're going to actually get into some more detail about writing notes. I'm going to give you a sample that you can actually use as an outline, a sample outline for you to use when you think about writing case notes. And then finally, in my other than professor life, I am a therapist and also a coach, life coach. And so I have come to appreciate the power of coaching. And so I want to help you become your own case note coach so you can coach yourself through getting this part of your professional life both under control to improve your notes and to improve how you manage your notes, and also you know, just generally feel better about aspects of your job. So let's start. Why do we need to do this? Usually probably workers say, why do we need to do this anyway? Oftentimes there's a split between the documentation and seeing clients, that seeing our clients and working with our clients is seen as the most important thing. And I'm going to ask you to reframe that for this discussion, that documentation is equally part of everything we do with our clients. So the first thing is, the reason is that we do it for ourselves and our agencies. It's a professional responsibility and it's part of professional development. You may not know this, but case notes have virtually always been written. The first case notes, the oldest case notes that I know about go back to like the 1890s. There were two organizations. There was the Settlement House movement. We still have settlement houses in New York City. And there was something called the Charity Organization Society. And they had something you might have heard of called friendly visitors, who would go out and visit poor people in their homes and see about referring them for different kinds of benefits and services. And so we have case notes that actually go back to 1890. So there is a historic place in human services of writing case notes about working with clients and the details, both in terms of observation as well as in terms of the kinds of services that were provided. I'm sure you've heard before that this is a permanent legal record of activities. These documents can actually be subpoenaed for court, and so they have to be written in a way that would be acceptable, and they are therefore a very serious document that we are engaged in writing. It's also, the third, an orderly and systematic management of your caseload. I often think about, like, how would you feel if you went to the doctor and maybe you're lucky and you only go once a year for your annual checkup. And if you go to the doctor and he looks at you and he says, okay, so what did we talk about a year ago? How were you then? You know, fill me in. I've actually had an experience with a client being told by a psychiatrist, did I prescribe the red pills for you or the blue pills for you? Think how that feels to be with a professional who doesn't remember or has no record of how they treated you or how they took care of you in the past, or what you talked about or what your concerns were. So it is an orderly way of keeping track of what's going on with our cases. Of course, everyone knows this statement. If it isn't written down, it didn't happen, and we all do feel strongly about that, which is why we're meeting today to talk about this. And finally, case notes are a tool used to reflect on our service delivery and to learn and improve our services. So it should actually, like the case notes that when you go to graduate school, you actually use case notes oftentimes from old case notes to study from in certain classes. Well, similarly, even when we're working with our cases, to reflect back on our case notes and to see if we were on point or if we missed something or if we should have done something, they can be a tool that helps us reflect. This is the age of accountability. And what does that mean? It means that in our society, every dollar spent, whether it's government dollars or whether it's philanthropic dollars through foundations or donors, every dollar that supports the work we do must be accounted for. And not accounted for just by budgeting, you know, like how much did we spend? That's important too. But most importantly, did we make a difference? Did we actually do anything for this individual? Are we helping our clients to have a better quality of life or attain their goals? So that is one of the that is the most important thing at this point in time, which in the age of accountability. So for our funders, and again, our funders are usually government funding and foundations. And by the way, government funding comes from all of our tax dollars, so I think all of us would agree that we would like our tax dollars being spent well as also. So case notes capture these important factors that funders need to know. Funders actually demand to know that the services we offer match what the client's needs are, so that there's an appropriate match there. That the programs are performing as expected. When we write proposals or we receive money from foundations, our agencies make a commitment to do provide certain services and to even a number of services that we would provide or a number of clients that we would see. So are the programs performing as expected? The next question would be, are our programs cost efficient and cost effective? So by cost efficient, you know, that means that we aren't wasting money in terms of the actual services we're providing. And then cost effective means that the money actually leads to the services that actually lead to the changes for the client's well-being. And again, the final, you know, what sums it all up is that we have to prove to our funders that our programs produce results. And that is a major part of what case notes contribute. to. So we also do it for our clients. It's part, and here's where I'd like you to really rethink and try to reframe it, that it is actually part of our service to them. Writing effective case notes is an extension of our delivery